on, everybody? Welcome back to another lesson. My name is Tarantino from the band Etherius, and today I'm going to be breaking down the sick arpeggio Etude that I just played for you. We're going to take what we did in the last lesson, and we're going to expand upon it a little bit more. I'm going to show you the E minor scale. I'm going to show you how it's constructed, and I'm going to break down all of the arpeggios that are within the E minor scale. If you would like a downloadable version of this lesson, as well as the Guitar Pro tabs and the backing track, please consider supporting me on Patreon, patreon.com/JTarantino. I will have a link for you in the description box. And if you want to check out my band Etherius, if you want to check out our entire catalog, again, I'll have a link for you in the description box. So in the last lesson, I broke down 3-string arpeggios. I broke down the left-hand technique, I broke down the right-hand technique, and then I showed you an example using different variations of an E minor arpeggio. We went over root position, we went over first inversion, we went over second inversion. So today I'm going to take this a step further. We're going to break down all of the arpeggios that exist within the E minor scale, the E natural minor scale. And this is all going to be 3-string arpeggios once again. And I'm going to break down the intervallic structure of the E natural minor scale, and then we'll get into all of the arpeggios, all of the chords. All right, so here's a breakdown of the E natural minor scale, also known as the E Aeolian mode. And this applies to every key, so even though we're showing it in E, the intervallic structure is always going to stay the same, and if you want to transpose it to another key, you just move your root, and all the patterns stay the same, and again, all the intervals are going to be exactly the same. So in the E natural minor scale, we have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and then in the next octave, again, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. So the intervallic structure of this is going to be, so our roots, E, F sharp is the second, G is the flat third, A is the fourth, B is the fifth, C is the flat sixth, D is the flat seven, and then octave. And again, root, second, flat third, fourth, fifth, flat six, flat seven, root. So again, that is the intervallic structure of the E minor scale. So now that I've showed you the E minor scale, let's break down all of the arpeggios. So these arpeggios are all diatonic to the E minor scale, meaning that the 7 notes that I just laid out, it's only going to be comprised, those arpeggios are only going to be comprised of any variation of those notes and only those notes. So the first chord, obviously, we have is E minor. So we have E, which is our root. We have G, which is our flat third. B is our fifth. So E, G, B. Next chord is going to be our 2 chord, which is diminished, which is going to be F sharp diminished. So it's going to be F sharp is going to be our root. A is going to be our flat third. C is going to be our flat fifth. So we have root, flat third, fifth for E minor. For F sharp diminished, we have root, flat third, flat fifth. Our next chord is going to be the 3. The major chord is G. So we have G, which is going to be our root. B is our third, and D is our fifth. So again, E minor, F sharp diminished, G major. Next chord is going to be the 4, is the minor 4, which is A minor. So we have A, which is our root. We have C, which is our flat third, and we have E, which is our fifth. So again, that's A minor. So E minor, F sharp diminished, G major, A minor. Then we have the 5 chord again. The 5 chord in this instance is minor as well. So it's going to be B minor. So we have B, which is our root. We have D, which is our flat third. And then we have F sharp, which is going to be our fifth. So again, E minor, F sharp diminished, G major, A minor, B minor. We go to our 6th chord, which is major. It's going to be C. We got C, which is our root. We have E, which is our third. And we have G, which is our fifth. So again, C major. Then we have our 7 chord, which is going to be D major. So we have D, which is our root. We have F sharp, which is our third. And then we have A, which is our fifth. And then that brings us back to our root again, and this time an octave higher. Again, E minor, same E minor that we played here. It's going to be down here. It's going to be 21, 20, 19. So again, quick review. We have E minor, which is root, flat third, fifth. We have F sharp diminished, which is root, flat third, flat fifth. We have G major, which is root, third, fifth. We have A minor, which is root, flat third, and fifth. B minor is also root, flat, third, and fifth. We have C, which is root, third, fifth. We have D, which is root, third, fifth, and then back to E minor, which is our root, again, an octave higher. All right, so now that we've got the intervallic structure of these arpeggios, I'm going to break down, again, the etude that I played at the beginning of the video, because this is going to show you how these arpeggios are all connected together, how we can smoothly transition from one to the other. And just keep in mind that there are other more musical ways to do this. We can get into some more creative and melodic ways to connect these arpeggios. Instead of just going straight up and down diatonically, we can cover that in another video. But for now, I just want to show you, just as an example, how these arpeggios connect together. All right, so now here is a variation of that same idea. We're just going to go descending instead of ascending. So let's take those two ideas and we're going to combine them to form one longer musical example.